The murder of Julia Wallace. Wallace, aged 52, attended a meeting of the Liverpool Central Chess Club on the evening of Monday, January 19, 1931, to play a scheduled chess game. While there, he was handed a message received by telephone about 25 minutes before he arrived, requesting that he call at an address at 25 Menlove Gardens East, Liverpool, at 7:30 p.m. the following evening to discuss insurance with a man who had given his name as R.M. Qualtrough. The next night, Wallace duly made his way by tramcar to the south of the city at the requested time, only to discover that while there were Menlove Gardens north, south, and west, there was no east. Wallace inquired in a nearby newsagent's and spoke to a policeman on his beat, but nobody he asked could help him in his search for the address or the mysterious Qualtrough. He also called at 25 Menlove Gardens West and asked several other passers-by in the neighborhood for directions, but to no avail. After searching the district for about 45 minutes, he returned home. His next-door neighbors, the Johnstons, who were going out for the evening, encountered Wallace in the alley, complaining that he could not gain entry to his home at either the front or the back. While they watched, Wallace tried the back door again, which now opened. Inside, he found his wife Julia had been brutally beaten to death in their sitting room. Up to his arrest 2 weeks later, Wallace made 2 voluntary statements but was never intensively questioned by the police, although he was required to attend CID headquarters every day and was asked specific questions about whether the Wallaces had had a maid, why he had asked the men who had taken the telephone message at the chess club to be specific about the time he took it, and whether he had spoken to anyone in the street on his way back to his house from his abortive attempt to find Mr. Qualtrough. The police had evidence that the telephone box used by Qualtrough to make his call to the chess club was situated just 400 yards from Wallace's home, although the person in the cafe who took the call was certain it was not Wallace on the other end of the line. Nevertheless, the police began to suspect that Qualtrough was William Herbert Wallace. Yet, even when they arrested and charged him, they did not ask him any further questions. The police were also convinced that it would have been possible for Wallace to murder his wife and still have time to arrive at the spot where he boarded his tram. They attempted to prove this by having a fit young detective go through the motions of the murder and then sprint all the way to the tram stop, something an ailing 52-year-old Wallace probably could not have accomplished. The original assessment of the time of death, around 8 p.m., was later changed to just after 6:30 p.m., although there was no additional evidence on which to base the earlier timing. Forensic examination of the crime scene revealed that Julia Wallace's attacker was likely heavily contaminated with her blood, given the brutal and frenzied nature of the assault. Wallace's suit, which he had been wearing on the night of the murder, was examined closely, but no trace of blood staining was found. The police theorized that a Macintosh, inexplicably found under Julia's corpse, had been used by a naked Wallace to shield himself from blood spatter while committing the crime. Examination of the bath and drains revealed they had not been recently used, and there was no trace of blood there either, apart from a single tiny clot in the toilet pan, the origin of which could not be established.